So our producers want us to read this. What you are about to enjoy or hate is simply three friends talking football and talking out their asses. Opinions mostly is for entertainment purposes only. We may offer great insights into the NFL and perspectives no one else has. Possible side effects do include feelings getting hurt, being offended, and losing respect for one another.
Welcome, friends, family, loyal viewers, all 71 of you, to our latest installment of Opinions Mostly. We are short our normal host today. He is on an undisclosed adventure somewhere deep in the woods of Montana.
He's in Peru.
Yeah, we're in Peru. They look very similar when you get into the forest brushes. I will be the guest host of today's episode. Special Teams Joe Spolaric. I said my name incorrectly on purpose because everyone else does.
Okay.
With us
Well,
always, we got the hammer, Aaron Quillen.
Yo. What it be, what it be, what it do?
What it be, Aaron?
What's up?
We are concluding week 5 of NFL football, and we're moving into week 6.
Happening right now.
The ship just keeps rolling, man, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's rolling.
Aaron, just a quick recap of last week here. Your Raiders went into the Mile High Pin of the Broncos. Any thoughts or takeaways here? I mean, it just seems like new thing happens with the Raiders every single week.
Yeah. Every week. Yeah, sure. Let's just jump right into it, Joe. Okay. let's just get into this week. Let's just start off strong by just getting me all hot and bothered and worked up. And
We
not
gotta
hot
hear
and
it.
bothered like in the fun way, more like the angry, you don't want to see that kind of way, you know. Oh my gosh. Every week, again, this just feeds into my theory from last year that the Raiders are just cursed. They are absolutely just cursed. Every week, it is something new. Now, it's come out that Davante Adams wants out of Vegas. He asked Antonio Pierce for a trade, says he's done, doesn't want to be part of this team anymore. And then all of a sudden, we'll get back, I guess, into that part later. Just the game. We didn't play good. We haven't been playing good football. Despite the Davante Adams stuff, the Raiders just are not playing good football. This is not the team that I was expecting to see this year, and they are far off. We're going to have a quarterback change now. Minshew's bench just announced it. Aiden O'Connell will be starting, and it doesn't seem like the offense can get fired up and get down there and score points. So hopefully, maybe with this quarterback change, we'll see an increase of morality, especially with all the Adams drama going on in the locker room too. Like, hopefully, there's some sort of improvement there. You know, it's tough times, man. Tough times, super tough times.
To me, it seems like every year it's the same 3 teams that are cursed year in, year out. The Raiders, the Jets, and the Browns. It's like no matter what they do, and we'll get into it later with the Jets and the Browns. It's just like no matter what they can do, it just always comes back. You know, I was like, this would be a good get-back game for the Raiders, especially going up 10-zip in the first, and Brock Bowers scoring that nice little tutty and get things rolling, man. I was like, okay, maybe we got a different Raiders team performing today, But yeah.
Yep. Nope. And I will say this is the first time the Broncos have beat the Raiders in 4 years.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you got that. The first time they've beaten the Las Vegas Raiders. Just want to throw that out there. So for any Bronco fans over celebrating, like, don't, still one more game this year too.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But, while we're here in sunny Las Vegas, I talked about it a little bit. Let's talk about Davante Adams.
Yeah,
And,
let's get into that.
Because he is a star player. We'd be talking about him anyway in this whole situation if he was on any other team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, what do you think? What outside looking in? What are your thoughts on Davante Adams requesting a trade?
It's head scratching to me, because he was one of the main voices in that locker room that wanted Antonio. I was going to say Antonio Brown.
Pierce.
Antonio
Pierce, yeah.
Another Raider cancer, Antonio Brown. Yeah, he was one of those lead uh, voices in the locker room with Crosby, like, you know what? Let's roll with this guy. We're gonna ride with this guy. We're gonna play our hearts out for this guy. We're gonna bash our head through a fucking wall for this guy. So just knowing that and seeing the potential that the Raiders can play at against Baltimore, and just I don't know what the quick pivot is. It's just to me, it's very head scratching, is what it is, and I don't know if I don't know. Davante just thinks his time, the writing's on the wall, and his time is getting limited with being up there at what 34 years of age,
30,
right?
yeah, 34, I think.
You know, the Raiders are obviously a rebuild type of team at the moment it appears, or retooling maybe. But I don't know. It really baffles me. And then ironically, the top two teams that he wants to go to is his best bud and Derek Carr, the Saints, right? And his
Hmm.
best colleague, I'm gonna say his best colleague with the Jets and Aaron
Yep,
Rodgers, you know.
yep. No, I
So
agree. And then
yeah.
now coming into this week, you have two huge blow ups in New York and Orleans. You know, the Jets just fired their head coach, so that's a bit of a roadblock for him to be traded there. Derek Carr just went out. He has an injury. He's going to be sidelined for a couple of weeks, so there's a roadblock there. Now Adams is saying that he's willing to work with the Raiders to make something happen for him to stay. What that being, we don't
Yes.
know. What I think is happening is he has a hamstring injury, right? So he
Allegedly.
has allegedly, yes, allegedly, his two destinations to play with Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr, as you know, have a little bit of hiccups in them. Now the Raiders are gonna, they're gonna start a new quarterback, a quarterback who Adams has been vocal about liking to play with,
Mm.
right? So I'm thinking he's going to take this week to see how Aiden O'Connell plays against Pittsburgh Steelers on his determination whether he wants to stay or go. In my opinion, that's fucking cheap. That's cheesy, and I didn't expect any of this type of behavior from Davante Adams. He's constantly said up until this point that he wants to be a Raider. He wants to stay there. Um, and then all of a sudden, like he goes ghost for a day, and then pulls the coach aside and says that he wants out. Like that's not a team mentality. That's a me mentality, and I get it. You want to have a championship before you go. You retire, hang up your cleats, but this is just a shitty way to go about it. I think.
It's mind-boggling too, because like he volunteered to go to the Raiders, even though the
Mm-hmm,
Packers paid him the exact amount of money that he
mm-hmm,
was asking for. So it seems like he wakes up and he has a different thought or a different
yep.
view set of what he wants to do. So I agree with you. I think the Jets firing their head coach Robert Saleh and Derek Carr going down for an undisclosed amount of time definitely ruffles his
Yeah.
feathers a little bit in terms of
Mm-hmm,
decision making. But I'm something else to keep in mind is every single week, week by week by week, he gets cheaper. He gets more
mm-hmm.
affordable for another team to trade him. So
Yep. That's true, and just the Raiders' performance while they're not winning, even with Davante Adams in there, is Luke Getsy is a huge reason of that. And one of the big reasons why we hired Luke Getsy in the first place is because Adams vouched for him and asked for us to bring him over. And now it's shit, and Adams wants out. Like it's just I'm pissed at him. This is shitty,
it's like the
shitty behavior.
Raiders. It's like the Raiders did all these moves for
Yeah,
him, right? And
yeah,
now nothing's working. So now he just wants to go out. It's
yeah.
like, no,
No,
that's your sword to die on now,
no,
essentially. Yes, that's your bed that
exactly,
you made, essentially. Um,
exactly.
I don't know. I think if I'm the Raiders, you probably just ship him out. Get best you can get. Don't ship him to
Yeah,
Kansas City, of course. But
the Raiders would never do that. No
yeah,
matter
100.
how much they fuck up, they would never do that.
Hey, who knows? The Steelers are next week. Maybe, maybe it's
Yep,
a get right game. I mean,
yep.
the Raiders are
Maybe
2-3, so the season's not
there.
gone yet.
No, definitely room for improvement. We'll see going forward. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be an interesting story. We will be following here on Opinions Mostly, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
yeah, you stay tuned to this program,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen. We'll have all the Davante Adams takes and details, especially inside and outside the organization. So we'll see what happens with Davante.
yeah.
Uh, Last week the Rams played the Packers in SoFi Stadium. It was yet again another road game for the Rams as the Cheeseheads completely took over the facility.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
you know, uh, the Rams had a chance. We were right there within 5. Fourth and 4th and 5. Yeah, 4th and 5. We just couldn't get it done. Outside of, I'm just chalking everything up the injuries for the Rams. We're in bye week this week. Thank God.
Sure,
Couldn't
sure,
come
sure, sure,
any
sure.
quicker,
Right,
man.
right, right,
Any quicker.
right.
Davante, come
Yes.
to the Rams, Davante. We'll take
No, I
it.
mean, actually, at this point, I don't care. Get off my team.
We'll give you Cooper Cup. Um,
Hmm?
uh,
Hmm?
I know, injury ridden. Anyway, I don't know if you got that game, but outside of Jordan Love's impersonation of Will Levis there in the second quarter,
Mhm.
I don't know. The Packers, to me, they don't look quite right yet. I know they're down Romeo Dobbs and TJ Watson at receiver, but I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. But to me, the Packers just don't quite seem fully ready, or like they're still trying to find
No,
themselves.
which them still being a young team, I think is yeah, it makes sense. That they're still trying to find themselves. They look good. They have the moments. At the end of the day, they still whoop the Rams. Joe, don't try to take a fact. That fact away here. That
We fought,
they
baby.
just yeah, you fought, but you lost. I'm just trying to think of things that Nick would want retaliated here in this conversation. So,
Well, his ass could come on and say it with his own damn mouth. No.
no, they're a young team. They still have some shit to figure out. Obviously, they're figuring it out, but they're still fighting. They're still winning games. So it's still early in the season. Let's see if they can figure it out.
My last part on that is I'm curious if Jordan Love's still trying to fully recover from that MCL sprain that he's suffered week 1. So who
Oh, I'm
knows?
sure. I'm
I
sure.
100% agree.
Yeah.
All right. Aaron, just a couple of quick things that stuck out to me last week during another great season of football.
Right.
It's just
Right.
fantastic.
Right.
The second week in a row, the Niners give up a 10-point lead against a divisional opponent going in the fourth quarter. They lose to the Cardinals 24-23. They had some explosive plays. One of which I'll be covering in special teams corner. But Cardinals stuck in there. They stood in there. They
Mm-hmm.
took it on the chin. They were down big. Like I said, they were down 17 at one point. I was like, oh, this is going to be like 10-37 or something, and they lose. The Niners just do not look like the same team as previous years.
No, I mean, all good things must come to an end, right?
Are we saying the end of Christian McCaffrey? What? Who said that?
I mean, who knows when he'll come back? Obviously, they got lucky with Jordan Mason, their backup running back behind him, and he's been producing well. But you can't win them all. They don't look like the same team, and who knows if they're going to figure it out or not. Maybe Purdy isn't the guy they thought that he was going to be. Maybe they're just not clicking with all the contractor on the offseason with Ayuk and Samuel having injuries. We'll see. They're still a good football team, even with their struggles, which is but can't win them all. They just suck. I'll just end it with that. I'll say decent things about them, and then just end it with the saying they suck.
Yeah, tonight's game against Seattle, another divisional game. Maybe a get right game for them. So we'll see how they perform in that one.
So it's halftime right now, 16-3. Niners up top. So let's see.
We'll see about that.
See.
Bills at Texans. Texans pull off the win. What the hell are the Bills doing throwing deep in their own territory with less than 40 seconds to go in the game, and the game is tied? It is completely head scratching to me. Sean McDermott came out after the game and said, "That's my fault. I need to call a better game plans." Like Josh Allen obviously being concussed there as well in that final drive. No one wants to talk about that, but you looked a little concussed.
Oh yeah, he was out cold. You can't deny that.
Yeah,
out cold.
I don't know what the Bills are doing with that play calling, but with Robert Saleh being the first domino to fall, I wouldn't be surprised if Sean McDermott gets fired some point here, either halfway through the season or at the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It's crazy. Crazy. It's bad play calling. There's no excuse for it, except for your second play calling.
Bad play calling for sure. Another good game we have was in the early window. The Ravens took over the Bengals 41-38 in overtime. Derrick Henry broke out for a couple explosive runs there, especially in the overtime period. Bengals messing up special teams here. Chance to win the game in overtime. The handler fumbles the ball. Can't get a grip on it. And if kicker kicks it and misses the field goal. Bengals, a chance for the Bengals. Get right game against one of the top dogs in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals are. We talked about the slow start with the Bengals, but this is starting to just come to a screeching halt here. I feel like
1-4, and they're being put behind the Browns in standings right there for their division. You know, I gotta be honest. I've never been a real big Cincinnati Bengal Joe Burrow believer. Like, yeah, they went to the Super Bowl that year, but it's just I don't think they're really that team that in quarterback that they're hyped up to be. Like, I don't think he's really that great as everybody makes him out to be. You know, just hard to say from a guy that just talks shit on a little podcast, but just from a fan perspective, he's overhyped. He's not that great. And it's starting to finally show now. They're not playing good football. It's just straight up what it is. Just not playing good football.
I love the couch coaching advice, Aaron. Very good on you.
Thank you. I play Madden sometimes.
Some people are starting to suggest that we've already reached the peak of Joe Burrow with him getting hurt all the time, and now we're starting to wonder if the accumulation of injuries and 1-4 starts. What is Zach Taylor doing in the offseason? Get ready for the season. What the hell is he doing? My last big takeaway is the Chiefs just do Chiefs things. I mean, they just find out a way to win every damn game in the book, and of course,
only team undefeated.
Derek Carr conveniently goes down hurt. I think the Saints had a chance maybe, but if Derek Carr didn't go down.
But Derek Carr did have a bad pass after that touchdown too. He had a bad interception after that touchdown before he got injured. Doesn't mean that they were completely out of it. I think Derek Carr is very underrated when you think about come from behind quarterbacks in games, to win those games. He has a lot under his belt, but couldn't pull it off. And now the Chiefs are 5-0 and just doing Chiefs things, and we all hate them. Collectively, we all hate the Chiefs. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of them.
They are the new New England Patriots of this generation. They're on bye next week, so good for them. Really just happy they're going to bye. All right, nice little recap there, Aaron. Last week, some of the highlights and some of the things that really stuck out the most. I have a quick facts entirely for you, if you don't mind. Last week was just another great week because football exists and it was played. It was also great because it was also an upset weekend in college football. Vanderbilt took down Alabama in Nashville. Student body storms the field, walk the goalpost, all 2.2 miles down Broadway, and throw that bitch into the river. I mean, unbelievable. There's a video of the camera from the police helicopter circling and just doing a play-by-play commentary. Yep, those goalposts are in there.
Yep.
Another great stat another great thing that happened last week was you'll probably never hear these words again for another 55 years. Army and Navy are both 5-0 in their conference in college football. Who knew that the armed forces play college football? First time they're 5-0 since we won the big one in World War II, 1945, Aaron.
Oh, wow.
1945. That's the last time Army and Navy undefeated halfway through the season here. That's your facts entirely for this week. That's why I said we probably won't see this for another 55 years. I mean, the way it goes, unbelievable. So
good job,
there's your facts entirely for this week. We'll keep on cruising along here on Opinions Mostly. Be sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment in under the video. Maybe I'll respond. Maybe I'll block you. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We move on. Aaron, load us up on stats, baby. We're 5 weeks in. We should have some definite people that are starting to create some space in the pack here for passing and rushing and receiving here.
Well, let's take a look here, Joe. Let's dive in. We're getting into week 6 now. Number 5 with quarterbacks. We have Kirk Cousins sitting there with 1,373 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now, this whole pack is honestly, it's pretty neck and neck still. They're a good group. like, like there's really not much, in between them, like you're trying to say here. Okay,
Ah, they're
we're
trying to
still
sell it.
we're still pretty neck and neck here.
I'm trying
Okay,
to sell a narrative.
number
Looks like it's fake.
yeah. Number 4, we got Brock Purdy sitting at 1,374 yards with 6 touchdowns. Number 3, CJ Stroud with
Damn.
1,385 yards and 7 touchdowns. Number 2, Dak Prescott with 1,424 yards and 8 touchdowns. Number 1 is Geno Smith
What?
with 1,466 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Shut up, dude. Gino?
Yeah, Geno Smith's sitting at number 1 yard with most passing yards in the league right now.
That's the one thing I did not expect. I did not expect that going into this program.
Yeah,
Geno Smith.
yeah, it's just it's still that kind of early in the season where we are going to start seeing some players kind of take the lead and run with it here, but right now we're still in a pretty good grouping.
Sounds like someone needs a
We're
quarterback in fantasy. Get Geno.
everybody's yeah, right.
What?
Yeah, everybody's kind of still jumping around. So now we're going to move on to rushing yards, right? Number 5, we have sitting there is Chuba Hubbard of Carolina with 393 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Good on him.
Number 4, we have Josh Jacobs with 402 yards and 1 touchdown. So he finally got that touchdown. Did he get that this last week?
What's that?
Did Josh Jacobs get his first touchdown this last
Yes.
week?
Yeah, he did against the Rams.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he broke
It
through.
only took him 5 weeks to get his touchdown. All right, number 3, we have Saquon Barkley with 435 yards and 4 touchdowns. Number 2, we have San Francisco's Jordan Mason filling in for Christian McCaffrey, 536 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sitting at number 1, I don't think he's really been on this list yet this year until these last couple of weeks because he's just been explosive. Had 200 scrimmage yards the week before. Is King Derrick Henry with 572 yards and 6 touchdowns. So with the running backs, it looks like Derrick Henry is he's kind of found his stride, and he's starting to take away get past these guys on the leaderboard.
Baltimore finally learned how to use their new toy.
Mm-hmm.
Only took them 5 weeks.
Well, you know what? It's working. It's working, and yeah, he's already has 40 more yards than Jordan Mason sitting at number 2. So,
Wow.
yep. All right, and then lastly, with wide receivers, with the receiving yards sitting at number 5, we have the Packers' Jaden Reed sitting at 414. And where's the touchdowns? And 2 touchdowns. And then number 4, we have DK Metcalf with 421 yards and 2 touchdowns. Number 3, we have Justin Jefferson in Minnesota with 450 yards and 4 touchdowns. Number 2, we have Jamar Chase with 493 yards and 5 touchdowns. And then sitting at number 1, we have Nico Collins with 567 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That guy's been lighting it up. Nico Collins.
Gosh, oh, yeah. Man. No, Nico Collins has been great. Him and CJ Stroud, just, they have that connection. And it's working out for them there in Houston. But this, folks, is this week's Hammering the Stats. Looking at some of these leaders, I think maybe next week, week after, we're going to start getting some defensive stats too.
Yeah, Nico Collins, he's on IR for the next 4, so that list is going to get shaked up for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good stuff, Aaron. Also, when you said DK Metcalf, I was like, oh, that's why Geno is lighting it up there. That makes sense. Yeah. All right, rolling right along. Next segment, Special Teams Corner. Aaron, got some stats for you here.
Let's hear.
Kickers were 13 of 16 for 50-plus field goal attempts this last week. I think it's time to narrow the goalposts. Make it like rugby. Make a rugby. Now
arena football.
Yep, arena football or rugby. Just make them smaller, It's about time. Let me get the screen sharing going here. All right, my guy.
Here we go.
All right, so we got special teams hero number one this week. Chad Ryland of the Arizona Cardinals kicked the game-winning field goal from 42 yards out with, I think it was like 42 seconds to go or something like that. And the reason why I'm saying that he is a hero this week is because he was just signed last week prior. And this
Oh,
is his
wow.
first game with the Cardinals. So he was a replacement kicker essentially. And he goes out there and has to win the game for them. So good on him. We go right along, baby. I don't even know how you say his first name. I don't even
Let's
know how you say
hear
his last name.
Taimi Fairbairn.
Farron
Fair
Barron.
Fairbairn.
We're gonna roll with that.
Okay.
Farron Barron. I gotta give some of the credit to the Bills, but Houston took care of business at the end of regulation, and he kicked a 59-yard long field goal to win that game over the Buffalo Bills. Not an easy feat, of course. Look at his percentage here, 92% on the year. That's crazy. And he's 13th. So there's 12 other kickers that are more accurate. He's kicking at a 92% clip. Unbelievable. That's insane. That's insane to think about here. Our next special teams hero is Bryce Ford Wheaton. He's a wide receiver, but he was on special teams on Sunday, Aaron, against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle was lined up to kick a field goal to tie the game, and they were just ready. They had all the momentum going. They had stopped the Giants on 3-and-out. They were marching down the field, and then it was time to get the field goal to take the lead. What happens? Bryce blocks the 60-yard field goal attempt and runs it back to score a touchdown, go up 29-20 for the Giants, the G-men, pulling up that upset victory against the Seattle Seahawks. Completely crazy turn of events in that.
Crazy ending.
Crazy. You saw the ending?
Ending.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So good on him. And then another little tidbit here. Diamodor Lenore, I think I said his name right. Just wanted to make a quick point of emphasis with him. He also blocked a field goal attempt against the Cardinals and ran it back for 60 yards to score a touchdown on special teams for the 49ers. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to see a lot more of these kicks getting blocked and actually getting a return here. Okay. Kind of exciting. Special teams kind of getting exciting here, especially with more of these 55 and 59-yard attempts are going in. That's just very compelling,
I mean, this is what the league wanted. They wanted to see more special teams plays and actions,
Very true.
And we're starting to see it, starting to come alive. Hope maybe we'll see if it keeps up,
I know. It's crazy, man. It's been great. I mean, can you just imagine the Super Bowl lies on a 64-yard field goal attempt to win the game?
Oh, that'd be nuts.
That'd be insane, bro.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
All right, Aaron. Well, our last bit here, we're just going to do a quick run through of next week's game here. We're going to skip the Thursday night game since that's actively being played. But tell me what you got, Aaron. We got the Jaguars at the Bears. Jaguars coming off their first win of the season against the Colts last week.
You know what? The Bears coming off a good win too. I'm gonna go stick with Chicago. Think they're gonna keep that momentum going. They found a little bit of rhythm, and Jacksonville, they're not a great team, and I think the Bears are gonna keep on going.
Doug Peterson also might be on the hot seat there. I think I'm gonna roll with the Bears too. Bears are favorite 1 point at home over the Jags, so. I think I'm going to roll with the Bears too, Aaron. Caleb Williams been progressively getting better week in, week out. So, maybe this week they put it all together and have a really good showing. Yep. Cardinals at the Packers. Packers 4.5-point favorite. Who are you taking on this one?
I'm taking Packers.
I agree with you. I'm taking the Packers as well, my guy. Very obvious pick in my opinion. Cardinals came off an upset win against the Niners, but yeah, they still got questions. They need to put it together. We got the Colts at the Titans here. Colts. Tennessee's the favorite, 2.5 at home. Who are we taking?
I'm gonna go with this Flacco magic that they got on the Colts.
He took the words right out of my mouth, man. We're rolling with Joe Flacco special magic. Backup quarterback. He might throw for 400 yards one of these games. It's certainly possible at this point.
It's crazy.
Titans are somehow the favorite by 2.5 at home, but we'll see. Weird things have happened. Texans at the Patriots. Oh, Drake May getting his first start too this game.
Yeah, first start to lose against the Texans.
Yeah, I think we're going to take the Texans on this one. Texans 6.5-point favorite on the road here. We got an interesting NFC matchup here. We got the Buccaneers at the Saints. It's already been confirmed that Derek Carr is sitting, and they're going to be starting their rookie quarterback that they just drafted. I forgot his name already, but
Desmond Randall.
Desmond Rattler. There you go, Desmond
Rattler.
Rattler.
Going Bucks.
I think so too.
I think Carr out. Yeah, it's going to be the Bucks.
It's one thing to have a wide receiver out. It's another thing when you have your QB1 out.
Yep.
I'm taking the Bucks 3.5 point favorite on the road here. Browns at the Eagles. Eagles coming off a bye here. Browns just coming off of another stunning loss. So,
Yeah, the Browns obviously have given up on their season. Eagles.
Eagles too. This
Eagles.
I don't know. The spread is 9.5. That feels like a lot, but the Browns have just been getting blown out left and right. So
Yeah, they're terrible, and they're not a team. Like, it's just evident they are not a team.
they're suggesting like in the offseason they're gonna have to send a first-round pick and and Watson to a team that has cap room just to cut them, just so they can get that money off the books.
Yep.
We got I think one of our first interesting games of the week here. Commanders at the Ravens.
Commanders. I'm going.
Oh, you're going with the dog?
believe in Jalen Daniels, who has already proven that he's going to be a star. They're on fire. They've got it. They're in a groove. Baltimore is still trying to find their new identity, and it's just, I'm going to go Washington.
I'm going to take the Ravens. They're a 6.5 point favorite, but I'm not going to take the points. I don't think they're going to cover. I think it's going to be like a 28-27, 25 game. It's going to be right there. But I think the Ravens, just being the veteran team they are, I think they'll find a way to fluster the rookie quarterback. Chargers at the Broncos. Another AFC West for you. We're taking the Chargers? Okay.
Chargers.
I agree with you on that. Chargers are a 3 point favorite on the road here. I'm going to take that too. I think Justin Herbert's going to come back a lot more healthy.
Yeah. All right.
Another interesting game here. Steelers at the Raiders.
Steelers.
Oh, just no faith. Just
Steelers.
Straight Steelers. Okay.
Yep. Raiders suck. Steelers.
I'm going to take the Raiders, and I'm going to take them to cover. I think they're going to have one of these games like against Baltimore. I think I think they're due. I think they're due. We got the Lions at the Cowboys here.
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
You're gonna go Cowboys? Okay.
I think they got their little confidence boost against Pittsburgh last week.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna turn it around.
Dak Prescott earned every cent he made that night, that game-winning drive. So
He did. He looked good.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm going to take the Lions, and I'll take the points. Lions are the favorite by 3 at home. And, it's kind of a rematch game of last year of the missed call that the Cowboys were awarded the win. So, I don't know. That probably plays very little in it, but, the football gods, the script, the script.
Oh, yeah.
Falcons at the Panthers.
Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons all the way. Just coming off that big win, too. Kirko Cousins is balling out.
Kirko Bangs, what?
Kirko Bangs, man. Well, that's the name of a rapper, but from Atlanta, so we're gonna call Kirko Cousins Kirko Bangs. But
okay, moving on.
See him doing the swag surfing.
Sure.
Falcons 6 point favorite on the road here. We'll take the points on that as well. Interesting game here. Sunday night football. Bengals at the Giants. The G-men.
I'm gonna go Bengals. Yeah, they suck, but the Giants are historically worse at home with fucking their quarterback. Can't even remember.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes.
Daniel Jones. So Bengals there. Yeah, I don't think he's thrown a touchdown in New York in like 2 seasons or something like that.
Who? Daniel? Okay.
Yeah, or it's been like I can't remember exactly. I should have brought that up.
Well, if this streak continues and he doesn't throw another tutty, I'm going to need you to do facts entirely next week so we can get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, you got it, pal.
I think I'm going to take the G-men. They've been surprising me lately. The win against Seattle, they should have beat the Commanders if their kicker never got hurt. They were right there with the Cowboys on Thursday night. I think I'll take the Giants with the upset here. I think they'll cover. Since he's the favorite by 3.5, I think I'll take the G-men on this one. And obviously, and then we got a back-to-back game in New York here. So it's gonna be a whole New York weekend here. Sunday night, Monday night. Bills at the Jets. If the Jets win this game, they will be first place in the AFC East.
Which would be crazy. Which would be crazy.
Who are you taking on that one?
I'm gonna go Bills.
Okay. I'm gonna go Jets. I think they're just gonna do a bunch of rah-rah in the facility this week with the new coach and Aaron Rodgers stepping up, take responsibility. Buffalo is the favorite, 2.5 on the road, but historically the Jets have played good against the Bills.
Yeah.
So because of that, and also just you know that first game after the coach gets fired, everyone gets riled up and wins that game.
Yeah.
So going solely off of that, and Rodgers will go for 400 yards.
Okay, let's see, guys.
Well, that concludes it for this week of Opinions Mostly. If you stuck around this long, definitely give a like, maybe a comment, maybe a share. Maybe you can share it to someone that will love this episode, and it grows. Anyway, until next week, Opinions Mostly crowd. We say, take care.
Peace out, y'all.